I'd rather you, instead of trying to do 10 rounds of X amount, do 4 of 100%, or you know what I mean, going to that 80%, and then chill, then work up to 5 after that. Don't kid yourself. There's no
Yes.
point of you putting yourself through that 10 if the last 5 are garbage. Because you're
Listen.
just doing aerobics at that point. If you're a member, and I see this all the time, when members like go into with one station, and they're like they walk easy to the next one, like you just screwed yourself over from having a great experience. Like you're just trying to beat the class now. You're not actually trying to beat yourself.
When you are doing an exercise for the sake of breaking down muscle and stimulating it, you want to be flexed and engaged the whole time. So if it's a 10 rep range, right, then you're flexed from rep 1 to 10 from the time you pick it up and the time you put it down. Welcome back to Behind the Strength, the podcast.
Where we
Help you build your health, wealth, and peace of mind.
welcome back,
I'm Christian Alvarez.
and I'm Carlo Balaguese.
Hey guys, by the way, thank you very much for all your comments and any questions that you guys pose in person as well. So we're going to work hard to obviously put out the more content that you guys are asking for. And if there are any questions or if you want to get at us, please, we're always open to conversation. You can get at us many ways.
Get at us at we're on Instagram a lot, so Instagram at strengthnu, strengthnu, no hyphens. Also Facebook, strengthnu, YouTube, the strengthnu. You can hit us up on our website www.strength-n-u.com, and you could email us at bts@strengthnu.com. Bobby Terry Sandy at strength-n-u.com, and also you could come talk to us in person. We're walking around. We are located, for those of you who don't know who we are, we're the co-founders of a company called Strength Fitness and Therapy. Started in 2011 with only less than 1,600 square feet.
Yes.
One office, dumbbell set that went up to 25 pounds, only
A
rented.
shared space
Shared
of
space, yep.
change room.
Shared change room.
When we first started,
men and
like,
women changed in the same change room.
area.
And we created it because we found we were donated. What is it? The office
Dividers.
What is that
yeah,
called? The office. What is that called?
The company?
Kuz? What are those cubicle things? Yeah. So we had a cubicle set donated to us, and we used it for
A change room.
for change
area.
rooms.
Yeah.
And you know what's very interesting, man? That when you're small, people forgive you a bit more.
Of course.
As a company.
Yeah,
And I think that was a great thing.
The more you grow,
because it's more community at that
the
point.
less you're allowed to screw up.
Yeah.
So I find now being in business for 8 years, we really can't have any room for screw ups.
Yeah, because
You're
it's
very much scrutinized.
It's more, you're more scrutinized because there's more people in the mix.
Of course.
And there's more personalities to kind of hold, and that little community feel kind of starts dwindling a little bit. But it's really up to us to make sure that community is still there.
Of course.
So that's a very interesting part about growth that I've learned.
So for today, we're going to be talking about ways to increase your intensity during your workout.
To spice things up a little, man.
So these are we're talking to the person who is in the gym, who maybe learned how to exercise a while back, and now they've started doing like straight set exercises, or you have a breakdown of, the body part split, the bro split, chest, back, shoulders, abs, whatever it is, or, anybody that's been doing the same kind of program or workouts over and over again.
You know what I found? That the people are broken up to 2 main categories. It's the bodybuilding style splits, and actually no, 3. The very just cardio type people, right? Cardio stretch, oriented, maybe core sometimes, and the now a bit more popular, a little bit more conditioning style, total body workouts and stuff like that.
Yes.
But with any of those multi-movements, which is great, but what happens is when you do that type of workout all the time for a long period of time, you start getting stagnant, not only in your body, but also mentally as well. So today we're going to try to help you kind of spice things up, maybe move the needle a bit more forward, so that gives you another chance to get by the next 6 or 12 weeks.
Yeah, it's a matter of fact that a lot of people actually do the same old exercises over and over again. And all through the year, for many years, they do the same body part split. And they just do straight sets and rest for 2 minutes or a minute and a half after.
You know, it's funny how many of your clients, so say to you like, "Yo, I'm still doing that program you sent me like years ago."
Right. Yeah,
Some of
yeah.
my boys, which I gave,
Yes.
remember those guys that I used to give
Yes, of
programs
course, of
to back in the
course,
day who
of
got great.
course.
I would touch base with him. My boy Chris, he's like, "Yo, I still do the program you gave me, man." And every time like I want to get on, I'm back on that program. Like, oh,
Wow.
because you don't do it consistently, right? So
Yes.
obviously it's gonna work.
Yes.
That's I find it hilarious. But yeah, you're right. Like people
Yeah.
just stick because if they find a good program, it's kind of like they're kind of
I'm just gonna stick to
yeah.
it.
You don't want to kind of get away from it because you're like, shit, this worked for me.
Right. So a lot of the reasons, so many reasons as to why you want to switch your program or intensify your workouts are obviously one to promote growth in muscle, to promote increase in strength, to promote overall increase of fitness, your endurance. Obviously, when you push yourself a little harder, naturally your heart's going to be going tested a little bit more. And obviously, just judging on your performance, obviously, every single day that you walk in, you kind of want to get a little bit better, right? Now, what happens is a lot of people get complacent or their bodies get stagnant because they use the same program over and over again. You know what I mean? So these are the tips that we're going to be giving to you today are things that you can be applying in different times of the year. You can do it at the end of your workout, at the end of your sets. We'll speak about each one. So the first one we're going to speak about is actually supersets. So
What is that?
supersets are basically you're doing two exercises back to back. Now this can be done within the same body part. This can be done with different body parts, such as like a front and back exercise or a push and a pull, right? Is a very popular one.
Like say a dumbbell bench press and a bent over row
Bent over row is a very popular
together.
one. Together, so back and forth. So you would, your whatever given set rep range you have,
Okay.
you'll do that, perform that, say 8 reps on one exercise, go directly to the other with little or no rest. Usually, it's enough to just kind of switch exercises. And you perform 8 reps of the same of the other exercise. Then you would actually give yourself that rest after.
Yes.
Right? So whether it be 30 seconds, 45, a minute, whatever it is, right?
So now can they play with the rep ranges?
Oh yeah, of course.
So are you able to go like say high chest and then strong like heavier row?
It all depends
Well,
on what type of, what are you really trying to
So the goal pretty
the
much.
goal, of course it is, right? So a lot of people believe that this is an old adage. If you use heavy weight, low repetitions, you're building muscle or you're building bulk. And if you're doing light and high repetitions, you're building endurance. Regardless of what you're doing, you're actually breaking down muscle fiber, so it doesn't matter. Just depends on how much stress and demand you're putting on the muscle. So obviously you'll only be able to lift a 300-pound bench press or whatever 2 or 3 times naturally, as opposed to a 100-pound bench press that you could probably repeat for 15 times. So it just depends on what type of stress overload you're putting on the muscle and on the time it's taking to do that, right? Let's just go back a minute and say that muscle does not have any sort of idea as to what's 100 pounds, 150 or 300, right? I don't know what that feels like. What
Yeah.
muscle knows is, can I lift this or can I not lift this? And as I'm lifting it, how long can I hold it for, which
Yeah.
is called time under tension.
And then how much blood do I need to supply? Like pretty much, yeah. How do I support this kind of tension or this stress on my body?
Exactly.
In that area of my body.
Exactly. So remember this, folks, that when you're actually working out and you're doing your sets and reps, you're breaking down muscle fibers. So you're not actually building them there. You're building them. They grow as you're resting. They grow as you're feeding them nutrients in their blood, right?
I think a good frame to start with anything, with the body, with anything mental, like your ability, your body is just really adapting to things.
Yes.
That's what bodybuilding is. That's what like running, endurance, fighting. Everything takes time to adapt. Right. So that's why like it doesn't really know how much weight you're doing, but it knows shit. I need to produce more muscle to support that because if this is gonna happen all the time, this person, my master needs that support.
Yes,
pretty much.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, because I mean, you have the person that'll go into the gym. Let's just say they're doing a leg day, right? And they're doing squats, and every week I squat the same 200 pounds over and over again. Are you really challenging your body at that point?
Yeah.
Yes, I can do it,
Up
and
to a
yes,
certain point, yeah.
yes, it's a heavy weight.
Yeah.
But at what point are you still stimulating that muscle to promote either growth, to promote some sort of enhancement to it?
Yeah.
Right, to get it stronger or grow or anything like or perform at a higher level.
So how could you real quick? I know we're talking about this, how to spice up your workout, but maybe this is important as well. How do I know that? Oh shit. Well, I guess we talked about the plateau, but how
Yeah,
do I know
well,
that? Okay, cool. This is not enough for me anymore. Is it like 5 reps is easy now? Like I could go 10 reps at the same weight.
it's really like the feel on. You'll feel it in your body.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, like let's just say if you're curling 100 pounds every single week, in week 1 you barely did 2 or 3, and in week 12 or week 10 you're cranking out 8 or 10, and then now you're starting to do just 8 or 10 regularly of it. Is it time to go up in weight? Maybe, or
What would you do? Yeah. So okay, would you? So say 100 pounds now. I did it like for instance 5 reps, and it was challenging. And then like 5 weeks later, fuck, I could do 12 and 15. At what point would you recommend to be like, okay, you know what? If you hit this many reps and your goal is to get a bit bigger, try to go above, instead of 100 pounds, go 105 or 110.
Well, the goal is usually to try and do that on a regular basis, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think every person that would lift, tries to challenge himself with a 5 or a 10 extra every single week or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
You're not always gonna get it though.
No, exactly. Depending.
You're
on
not
the
always
day,
gonna get
man.
it.
Yeah, you're right.
Sometimes you won't get anything for another month.
Yeah.
Right now, these are the times where you might start to apply some of these techniques. Maybe stay with a bench press, yes, but you got to remember what holds you up in a bench press. Your support system is in the back area. So maybe for a couple of weeks, I would start doing a back and a bent over row and a bench press together, and through strengthening the whole chain, you're gonna get a stronger bench press once you go try for that personal best or say at a 4 or 5 rep max, right? Then you'll actually increase that.
Which a lot of people don't realize that
You don't
that is
realize
the
that. It's a
secret.
connected-
It's this,
it's a
like
connection.
you want to get a better, bench press. You have to work more muscle than just chest.
You have to remember that when you're working your major muscle groups, you're working a lot more than that. You're working a lot of the smaller muscle groups. You're working a lot of the connective tissue, joints, tendons, ligaments, all that stuff is kind of in play. Not all of them grow at the same time. Not all of them get strong at the same time, right? And to be honest with you, tendons are very, very strong because think about how small that thing is, or a ligament, and it holds up such a big thing as your quads.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
or the amount of force that one shoulder takes in a day, right? That's held up by tendons and stuff.
Well, imagine, when you're doing a shoulder press, even a standing shoulder press, and you have a weak core, that could significantly, determine how much weight you're going to actually lift, right? Because the downward pressure is not just on your shoulders, your entire body.
Yes. Now, if you want to, another thing that you can do other than just supersetting, if you feel like, hey, you're feeling good today, you want to really challenge yourself, add an extra exercise. Now you're going to start the triset, and anything after that, it's basically a circuit training, which, it works great and when you kind of inject that into your phases, right? Now circuit training, trisetting, that kind of stuff, the difference is going to be your heart rate is going to get up a lot higher, obviously, because you're doing 3 exercises or more in a row. So it does become a little bit of a cardio. But if you do it properly and you do, say, you maintain low repetitions on your actual sets, so you're going to be doing like 5 reps or whatever on a bent over row, a chest press, a bench press, and a squat. Okay, let's say like those 3. So I'm going to triset those 3, but if I still want that, not just so much a cardio endurance type of workout, and I actually still want to increase my my muscle goal, like my muscle firing and all that, right?
Yeah.
My strength, I would actually still do 5 reps, 5 reps, 5 reps, and you're almost doing a hit workout there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like you're
Because you're
heart
supposed to
rate
go up. Yeah, your heart
back
rate's
down.
still going to go up.
Heart rate up,
Yeah.
back down, heart rate up, back down. As opposed to the old school typical circuit training, you're literally running through exercises. Okay, 12 reps, 15 reps, 15 reps, machine after machine, or exercise, body weight exercise after body weight exercise,
Yeah.
right? So there's ways you can manipulate a superset, triset, or even a circuit, just based on the repetition.
That's why it's. And I'm not knocking anybody, but that's why the more intelligent, more experienced trainers do it better
Of course.
because they understand and they identify the client or even if for themselves, there's more dynamic ways of just putting someone through a circuit rather than just do these high knees and then
Yes.
this and that
Yes.
other crap, like
Yes.
the energy distribution, the ability to kind of take them down, take them up, tell that story and really connect it back to their goals within that workout is so profound. That's why it's not the same. Like when I watched Instagram and all this stuff, I'm like, yo, there's a lot of people who hype themselves up, and there's so much stuff, it's basic stuff that
So let's
isn't really over time gonna keep somebody engaged.
actual rep speed is very, very important, people. You got to remember that muscle is obviously exercised and or stressed due to time. So say a typical set of 10 reps takes about average 30 seconds to do. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is instead of that regular 10 rep, we're gonna actually increase your rep time. So let's just say each rep is gonna be 5 seconds. So you're gonna multiply that by your 10 reps and just think about how much time. What is that? 50 seconds now all of a sudden?
Yep.
Right. So think about how much more burn your muscle is gonna be going through.
That's hard, man.
Right? Exactly. So just doing that alone, it makes a huge difference in your workout.
Speaking on that, the deadlift, man, when these guys do deadlifts these days,
Uh-huh.
when back in the day, old school bodybuilding, you're deadlifting and you're that time under tension.
Yeah.
Like you don't.
No,
Just
from
when
the
you
time.
come up,
No.
When
Yeah.
you come up, these guys just drop back down.
course.
And then they bring it back up, which is more powerlifting, right?
Powerlifting style. When we say bodybuilding, folks, we're not talking about big hunking muscle, competing and posing on stage. We're talking about building your body. In every sense that we're building your body. So building your muscles, developing strength, developing, muscle flexibility and contraction. That's what we're talking about when we talk about bodybuilding, right? So when you are doing an exercise for the sake of breaking down muscle and stimulating it, you want to be flexed and engaged the whole time. So if it's a 10 rep range, right, then you're flexed from rep 1 to 10 from the time you pick it up and the time you put it down. Because as we all know, injuries and when you get hurt is usually done in deceleration. So deceleration is usually when you're just putting the weight back and you kind of just let it go.
I've seen a lot of quote unquote bodybuilder people starting to do that. Like you get out, like do it for your purpose of what you're doing, man. I mean, if you're gonna do it for a moment in time to gain that strength or whatever, or power,
course.
Fine. But man, don't just get into it because people are doing it on Instagram, man. Like I always challenge everybody in the gym, like, yo, do that much weight, but do it time under tension to see how many reps you could.
Yeah, like even a good thing to do, like other than just slowing down your rep, is another thing that you can change with is when we talk about tempo, we don't just talk about slowing it down. What about the speed of it going up, and then the slowing down of the deceleration? So I know I'm getting a little bit technical here, but let's just get one thing clear: bench press, acceleration, you're pushing; deceleration, you're coming down. Okay, squat, acceleration is when you're squatting up, and deceleration is when you're going down. Okay, deadlift, acceleration is when you're lifting it off the ground. Deceleration is when you're going off the ground. So just to make sure that everybody here is on the same page, those are the two differentiating factors. So when we want to accelerate and lift something and push something off the ground, you can increase your intensity by kind of doing it explosively. Now, I don't suggest for everybody to just do this. Get a damn good coach if you're going to plan to start doing this stuff. And then you could just slow down your rep range. You know what I mean? But I mean, there's so many ways. My point is that there's so many ways just playing with your timing alone on how fast or slow you do your repetitions can do a lot for your overall fitness.
Yeah, there's so many variables when you lift in the gym. Like, man, you shouldn't get stagnant because of all these type of variables that you could play with.
Yeah. A great thing that I like to do with clientele, and I've seen some people here do it as well, is a rest pause method. So rest pause is usually you'll have a given rep range, usually for 6 or 8 or something like that. And let's just say you're going a little heavier today, right? You press you're shooting for 8, but you make maybe 5, right? So you're pushing.
So you're going heavy.
Yeah, you're going pretty heavy.
Yeah.
So you get 5.
Yeah.
What you'll do then is you'll rack it up, wait about 5-10 seconds, pick it back up, get another 1, get another 2. Good, because this time your target is the rep range.
Yes.
Right? So it's not about the weight, it's about the rep range.
Ah.
Now you got to do this reasonably, obviously, because you're not gonna take a 200-pound dumbbell and be like, I'm gonna press this 100 times,
Yeah.
and all day I'm gonna try and beat at it, right? Usually, you're gonna get maybe a 20% differentiation or 30%. So which means if you're targeting 8 reps. You should be going with a weight maybe about 20% heavier that you would barely be able to make 6 out of.
Yes.
Okay, so just to be clear on
I
what
think
I'm
that's a
talking about.
big thing that people don't understand is that it's not about I hit 8 reps.
No,
and you're still fresh. Like
no,
you need to
didn't
challenge yourself.
Challenge the actual muscle.
Yes.
Again, if your reps are starting to look like this every single week, and nice controlled motions, and they get almost easy and rhythmic, you're probably not challenging yourself the way you used to back then.
I mean, that's good when you first start, 100%. You need to do it safely, and you have to understand your body, capabilities, form, function, all that stuff.
Now, a key thing I'm just going to throw this in as a key thing. You have to remember that power from your body is driven right through your actual core. So, like when I'm talking about core, I'm talking about from your hips to the muscles around your stomach, anything that lines up your spine that basically holds it in place is where you drive power from. So in any exercise, you always want that engaged. You know what I mean? Because it would be really bad of me to talk about ways to intensify this without actually identifying the fact that when you are doing a bent over row or a barbell curl or a squat or a deadlift, you can name every exercise. That midsection and that area of your hips, your glutes should be firm. It should be planted, and it should be a brick wall. Like nobody should be able to move you. That's how you fire your body. That's how you drive power. That is how you actually support your back. That support your body from pulling a lot of things. The spine, when you're lifting, has to be straight. So this curving, obviously, you don't want. You want to increase intensity in your workout, straighten your spine right up. It fires a lot more muscles on a neurological level. So obviously, the brain has to fire neurons and to get your muscles to actually twitch and to do something, to pick up that weight. It does that best with a straight posture. So just to remember that in any lift you do, just that alone will increase the intensity and effectiveness of every exercise that you put yourself through, right?
It's definitely something to think about every time.
Something to think about.
Every time you do something, even do you something, pick something up.
Pick something up. Well, that's how a lot of people pull their back, right?
Yeah.
Or I've heard people say I pulled my back when I was sneezing because your body's super loose. But
that's a big sneeze, bro.
Explosive and how much you will put into a hard sneeze.
Yeah, sneeze straight.
Yes. So when
watch your sneeze posture, everybody.
Watch your sneeze posture. That's another topic for another day.
Shit.
So I mean, that's exactly why, right? Big one here. Big way to increase intensity. Drop sets.
That's
Huge.
one of my favorite. I like drop sets.
They fall in the form of giant sets overall. So giant sets are basically, it's an ongoing friggin' thing over and over.
It's mentally, you're mentally checking yourself doing this one, guys.
Yeah, it's like doing barbell curls with 100, then going 90, then 80, then 70. Doesn't have to be that dramatic. It could be in 20-pound increments.
Yeah,
yes.
You're talking about not reps.
Not reps.
Pounds.
In pounds. So let's just say you can be moving down in weight, which is called a drop set, or a simple giant set of increasing the upward pyramid is
or then going up and down.
Way. Yeah, or you can go up and down. That's some crazy stuff.
Dude,
works best on delts, small muscles like tricep, bicep. A lot of times when you are doing these things with compound exercises such as a squat, a deadlift, a bent over row, you're obviously more susceptible to injury. And two, your form, like when your form goes off, you're more likely to hurt something than you would with a barbell curl.
Absolutely.
It's very easy to drop a barbell, right?
Yeah.
When it burns, as opposed to being underneath a squat bar and you've done, 3 plates, 2 1/4, 2 plates, whatever it is, right?
Yeah, definitely like arm day, man. Yeah, this shit's crazy.
If you guys ever watch the old video of Ronnie Coleman, was it
which
Incredible?
one? The Redemption? No.
Redemption. And he does the giant sets. And I think even in his first one, he does it a lot for his delts. So he'll do like lateral raises. Those are
perfect.
Those are great exercises, like lateral raises, rear delt, front raises. Great exercises. You just burn it.
Yeah.
right? Great ways to increase that burn on the muscle. And the best part about it is because those movements are so isolated to just that one area, the blood pooling you're causing in that area is fantastic. So blood pooling is basically blood that you're driving in the area, right? Into the capillaries and whatnot. And what blood is rich with nutrients. So muscle food, right? Amino acids. That's what you need to actually repair and rebuild, muscles. So
That's why like a lot of people
the pump,
do the whole like NO explode stuff where
the pump,
get the vasodilators to get more blood,
vasodilators.
more
Oh,
blood
man,
into there.
We can get real technical
Oh
on that.
shit!
Yeah, so pyramiding, reverse
Science,
pyramiding,
guys.
drop sets, those are great ways now. Drop sets can be done, let's just say if your target is 3 sets or 4, you could do it at the very last set, right? If you're a beginner, not a beginner, but if you're an intermediate lifter, meaning over a year and a half or 2, you can involve these drop sets and you can put them in your last set. So let's just say the last set of an exercise. If you're going to do 4 exercises today for, let's just say, your back, you're going to be, doing a drop set on the very last set. Now, if you're crazy enough, if you get closer to the end of your program, let's just say after 4 to 6 weeks of doing this, try 1 workout or 1 week worth of just drop set. After just drop set every set.
Man, I did it. Yo, your body just looks insane after that, man.
Drop set after every
It's
set.
just-
The
and you
pump
can't
that
move.
you get, the burn that you get,
Yeah.
and man, the aches and pains in your joints. Speaking from experience,
Yeah.
come see us at SNU Therapy.
Yeah, you
because
definitely-
we
yeah.
can definitely help you out
Yeah.
there.
You
Believe
got to watch
us.
out for this because you could go overboard 100%.
Yeah, man. You know what it is too. We have to remember that when you're exercising and you're putting blood into the muscles, you're also swelling tendons. So have you ever heard of the word tendonitis, right? I mean, if you watch our videos, tendonitis, it's a swelling of a tendon. So this thing is engorged in blood. Yes, great for muscle, but not so good for tendons. They shouldn't be inflamed like that. So watch how you do these and watch how long you do these things for. I wouldn't do like these, drop set programs for too long.
No.
4 weeks of it is good. And then after that, lay off. And again, I wouldn't do 4 weeks straight of drop sets of every exercise I would do. You're probably not going to get the maximum benefit out of it because you're just burning other things out, such as smaller muscles. You're burning out your joints. You're burning out, obviously, the connective tissue, right? So those are something that just apply sparingly.
And I would definitely follow that program up with like a good rest period. Yeah.
In fact, I would apply all of these sparingly, and if if you're smart, first of all, as we've spoken about many times, you should be doing your training in phases, right? It should be done in blocks and training blocks, so 4-week blocks.
Yeah, then you know what? You're right.
blocks.
Doing these things that we were talking about, you shouldn't do this like forever. Just like how you're doing your program right now. If you're just doing a regular split, 8 to 10 reps of whatever exercise per day, you definitely shouldn't do drop sets every single day for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Another big thing that we want to talk about is HIIT. So what is HIIT? It's high intensity training as defined. It's getting your heart rate up and down. It gets the body moving. It works very, very well for increasing your strength, increasing your stamina, and your actual recovery. So anybody that's an athlete very much benefits from this. Anybody who works out will very much benefit from this. And the reason being is because you're basically doing weights and cardio in one. And you're increasing your heart rate drastically higher than you would with a steady state of cardio. So just say walking on an incline on a treadmill is definitely not going to do as much for you as when you're doing a HIIT style training. Yeah. So a big benefit of HIIT.
Depending on how your fitness level.
Right, of course.
Because that could be hit. I mean, incline to hit. Some people who've never really done anything before. Well, actually, no. We're talking about
like exercise after exercise of hits,
okay,
or the same whatever movements, right?
Tell them what heart rate you want to hit at that point.
Okay, so every person is going to be different depending on your age. If you're doing a HIIT exercise or HIIT type of workout, you definitely you will get up to like the 80% of your maximum heart rate. Yeah. If you want to learn how to calculate that, we will put up a formula.
220 minus your age. So it's 220 minus your age is your max heart rate. Then you want to go 80% of that.
80% of that. That's where probably you will get up to. You can get up a little bit higher sometimes. That's getting into danger zone. So you want to obviously calm it down, right?
That's why I would suggest that you get a heart rate monitor, and a very accurate one, more the chest one. That's a bit more accurate than the wrist one
Yes.
and all that stuff, the armband stuff.
Yeah.
I would try to track that. I remember doing that when I was fighting a lot, and it helped a lot and made me realize how much effort I should be putting in, how much, how much more effort I should be, because sometimes your brain doesn't really comprehend, like you think you're doing more work than you're actually doing, but you're not.
Now you also so like as you get better, you'll find your heart rate will start to like almost decrease. The working heart rate is going to decrease your
100%.
overall,
100%.
and that's your cardio just getting better and better and better. And obviously, like even on a physical feel, you won't be going from exercise or set to set, right? Once you learn how to control your breath, and a lot of this, guys. To be honest with you, when you're doing a hit style or a stop and go of any sort, sprints on a treadmill, tire slams, that kind of exercising, it works really, really well to help you breathe when you're breathing with the beat of your jump, so to speak. So the beat of your exercise. So if you're slamming a tire, for every slam you hit, you should have a breath out. So if you're slamming that tire at a fast rate or the ropes at a fast rate, your breathing should be just as fast. Now, that breathing will come from your chest cavity rather than the diaphragm. Now, after you're set, when you're feeling like, is the time to actually expand your diaphragm, which lies right here. So after a set, for all you people, or a couple hard cardio sets, and you're breathing, you're breathing from your chest. You're breathing very shallow. It's not very efficient. And you're not going to get the maximum output and maximal recovery. So what you want to do is breathe in through here while you're actually resting.
Another thing why you want a heart rate monitor is because eventually and I see this all the time, the last few sets or even maybe halfway, you're going to start not putting 100% effort.
Yeah.
You're not even good. And I see it all the time. Then you start hitting that aerobic
Just dogging
phase.
it, yeah.
And I see that, and you're wasting your time at that point. I'd rather you, instead of trying to do 10 rounds of X amount, do 4 of 100%, or going to that 80%, and then chill, then work up to 5 after that. Don't kid yourself. There's no point of you putting yourself through that 10 if that the last 5 are garbage. 'Cause you're just doing aerobics at that point.
Like a while back, I tested something out. So I would do workouts where I would do fast-paced movements and kind of just go and higher repetition or higher timing movement, and then I'll go from one exercise to the other. And then I tried recently, I'll go heavy, right? More explosive. So let's just say I'll go heavy T-bar row for 5 reps. Then I'll do a very high explosive box jump, and then I'll do a heavy bench press. I'm more exhausted doing that than doing 3 rounds or 2 rounds of body weight or just simple movement exercises for 20 repetitions. It's probably because I didn't really try that hard.
Exactly.
I just kind of moved my body.
Because you're just moving.
Exactly.
You're just moving.
But if I have a 60-pound ball that this guy wants me to pick up and throw over, I have to actually give effort to pick it up.
Yes.
I have to put effort into it and have to put effort to put it up and throw it, as opposed to doing that 20 times with a 20-pound, ball.
This is why I there's certain levels and grades of these high intensity interval training type exercises that I laugh at when I see people try that and say, "Oh, it's a high intensity." Is it? Because it's not.
And you know what? Here's a big thing. And
not.
here's a big thing. If there are members that are listening to this, when you guys are doing body blitz is a very hit style type of workout that we have here in our facility. It's a class. So if you're doing those type of classes, make sure that when you're doing these classes, that instead of focusing on, say, a 20-second time or 30-second time, instead of focusing on how many reps you can get in, say, I'm going to do 30 of this one, focus on the movement of each one and actually feeling your body go through it.
Yeah.
So your whole body should, let's just say, what's a good one? Let's just say a band throw, right? So you'd be standing right here and you're kind of just whipping a band back and forth. Instead of just going over and over and just going through the motion and say, I did 50 by the end of 30 seconds. I would rather you do 15 and go hard on each one. One,
really
come back,
engage
2,
your
come
entire
back.
body to
I
get this
guarantee
movement
you,
going.
you're going to get that much more out of it.
Yes,
you're going to
because
stimulate more muscle.
Because it's you're stimulating, not moving now. You're just moving. It doesn't do shit. You have to stimulate.
You're actually activating the muscle, right? So stimulate Don't annihilate. Lee Haney, he once said that.
Stimulate,
Mr. Olympia.
man. Stimulate. Don't. You're lying to yourself. You're fighting against time. You're a time fighter.
Yeah, yeah.
Instead of actually going through the conditioning circuit or high intensity interval training.
Yeah.
You have to move your body with intent.
Yeah, so
And
exactly
aggressive.
with
There's
with
a strategic.
intent.
With intent.
So
There's that aggressiveness, but a safe aggressiveness.
that comes out only because everything in your body combines.
And if you're a member, and I see this all the time when members like go into one station, and they're like they walk easy to the next one, like you just screwed yourself over from having a great experience. Like you're just trying to beat the class now. You're not actually trying to beat yourself. You're trying to show
That's
that
a big one.
It's huge. Like listen, I don't give a shit. I know how to work out. I've been working out. But if you're here to actually do some work and see some change, you're not here just to beat the class because you're losing. You're losing.
Yes.
You're a loser
You have
if
to
you
beat
do that.
yourself every
because
time.
Guess what, dude? If I was on top of you and you were just doing push-ups, you would be dead.
Yes,
if I was on top of you. If I was
Exactly.
actually looking at you and making you do it the proper way. The shit that you've been doing in class, whether it's it doesn't matter what exercise.
Of course.
If you're able to walk away from
you're gonna feel it, and you're gonna be
if you're able to walk away with it without being out of breath
like
or actually phased, then
yeah.
you either A, didn't actually engage the muscles that you're supposed to, and B, you're just waiting for time to pass so you could show everybody that you're conditioned, which
Yeah.
you're actually not
Right.
conditioned, because if you're actually conditioned, you would actually go 100% and that still didn't phase
Well,
you.
this is why our classes, the way they were designed and formatted, are challenging at any level, whether you're a beginner, an intermediate person, or an advanced person. Because what matters is how hard you go for yourself in that allotted time that they give you. It's not about it's not about oh well, I can breeze through this because I've been working out for 5 years. I guarantee you,
Listen, man.
Yeah.
Listen, my body. I was a high level athlete. Dude, I could run for days. I could endurance was off the chain. My resting heart rate was. I thought I was dead, and I was doing way easier exercises condition wise, and I was dying still.
Yes.
So it's not about the exercise.
No,
it's
it's not.
The
It's the
effort that you're
effort. It's
putting
effort
into the
exercise.
exercise. Okay,
Yes.
it doesn't matter. I could give you 4 simple exercises that you think, oh, that's nothing. But if you actually go 100%,
And activate.
20 seconds, you feel
Yes.
like it's an hour.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So if you're a member here at strengthnu and you're listening to this, please remember that.
Activate.
Right? It's your duty. Yes,
Activate,
it's our job to
stimulate. Don't
make sure
annihilate it.
it's our job to make sure that we give you safe, fun exercises that are challenging and that hit the entire body. But it's your job to go all in when you hit that station. It's your job to pick a weight that's a bit more challenging for you.
Before you start thinking of any of these ways to increase intensity, the number one way to increase intensity is actually feel the exercise in the proper places.
Yes.
And have your body work.
Yes.
So I think that closes us off for
Yes.
today.
I think that's the biggest takeaway.
I think that
from
is
this.
the biggest takeaway.
It doesn't matter what you do.
Doesn't matter
Maybe
what
you know
you
what?
do.
Even if you're doing the same exercise, let's take it back to that. If you're doing the same exercise every single day for the last 4 years, but you just increase your level of intensity, you wake yourself up again and
per
be like,
set
per
rep.
per rep,
Yes.
per set.
And when we say
Each
per
time.
rep, that means there's different parts to it. You could go like molecular on this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But you can. But you know what?
But you know what I mean.
From the time you go up to the time you're coming down, accelerate, decelerate, it better be flexed.
You
It better be moving.
You put you or me beside that person doing these exercises, then they do the same fucking routine, same
Guarantee
routine
you.
that you've
Yeah,
been doing.
and I
but let
guarantee
me be
you, yeah.
beside you and coach
Exactly.
you every single
Because
time.
of the effort that you're putting in.
You're dead. I
Yes.
could use the same workout that you've been doing for 4 years and make you feel like you've never done shit before.
Yes, very true.
Why?
Very
Because
true.
now I'm holding you accountable each and every rep.
Very true. And that's something that you ingrain in your body. Like, you start at the workout level. And naturally, people who start at the workout level, they start to carry that outside of them, whether
Yes.
it be their friendships, whether it be their business, or be it their career. You just start holding things more accountable, and you hold yourself a lot more accountable overall. And man, your results are flying.
There you go.
Till next time, thank you very much.
Appreciate your time. Thank you
get
for
at
listening.
us. Any questions you may have, anything you want us to cover,
Hit us up at bts@strengthnu.com. That's Bobby Terry Sandy at strength-n-u.com, or social media. Just Google us, man. Strengthnu. We got some cool reviews, and creep out any channels that we have, our website, and hit us up. You could connect with us anywhere, anytime.
all right. Thank you.
All right, cheers.
Hey.